what we are today, this whole evolution of science, if you see, it has this progress of knowledge happened because people did research in fundamental areas. I mean, they laid down fundamental works. That's why applications came, which helped our life.
Yeah.
Made it more simple. So the importance of research in fundamental areas has been very naively accepted throughout the evolution of humans. Now, what you are saying about is that it is coming of age with the other aspects of human society, like industry and things like that, which had huge amount of revenues put in. Nowadays, like the research funding agencies have evolved themselves at the scales of those. But the importance of research in fundamental areas, that's why Nobel Prize is there. Nobel conceived this concept of that why this was there. I mean, this has been there since generations.
Yeah.
I mean, you always have, you need.
Although he was an applied guy.
Yeah, and so I mean, this notion has been there. What you are specifically asking about is the funding change of the scenario in landscape.
The growth in funding, basically.
In the funding, that would be something like, I would say the agencies, the funding agencies, like the people who are making the plans and programs, they have come of age and like they have now
better strategy because of science itself.
Yeah.
So I have a very connected question. Let me just ask one one question connected to that, which connects Satyajit and Abhilash and all of us basically, is that now funding has come into picture, revenue has come into picture, the keywords and fundamental research and large scale funding we are talking about. So then let's talk also about open academic research, OAR. So OAR is very much interested in curiosity driven research, which is very much fundamental, because most of the curiosity driven are fundamental research which does not require motivation to solve some problems. It is just like that, as Varghese says. As Varghese says, I want to solve it just like that. Because there is no reason for it. I don't want to solve it just because I have to save myself from the rain. I need an umbrella for that. I need to discover an umbrella for that. So my question is basically, in this very country, where we have so much of problems, starting from corruption to the gender biasness, homosexuality, and whatnot, money and food, the racism, the
education.
education.
Half of the people are not getting free education.
This is a country of so much of population, and definitely there is money, maybe shortage. We don't know that, possibly whether what is correct we don't know. So now the question is that should this very country forget the ambassador of India, who was Rabindranath Tagore, and the very idea of his was to let the child be curious, because that brings innovation, that brings without fear, and that brings. So he basically, the Vishwabharati, the university he has created, is the literal translation of Vishwabharati's nest of the world. He wanted to bring all the world. So, all over at that point of time, he brought people from south of India, north of India. He brought people from outside India, which is even a question today, that can we have foreigners in the Indian institutes? It is a big question. Can we open it up? We are very much afraid that our job will be in an insecure position, that we have to compete with non-Indians. So should this be the way? Should this be the way? We forget that this was our we had the land of Ramanujan. Should forget that a child should be curious, and an organization which is working for their rights to be curious, should this not be funded by the government or by or non-government?
Yes.
So that's in a very very short answer he said yes, but there must be some valid reasoning. that why they should fund us. Because, okay, we can talk about all these facts and history, but we have to put this in the current context, which is fundamental, applied, as well as the finance guy is here with us. So it will be nice to have some bites on that from everyone actually. So
Yep.
so maybe we can keep the time a little bit open for this.
Yeah, but we don't have enough time.
Yeah, maybe this question. I don't know whether
Okay.
whether you think this question is important or not. I don't know whether we should
Yeah.
discuss
I
it.
think it is important.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. The youngest.
So
member-
so your question is
Why should India fund?
Why should in country like India or Bangladesh
Should not
or
fund.
Pakistan, the South Asian countries should fund this? Or how do we put this in the context of current problems? That's I think the main question.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. How
How do we put this thing in the current
how do we
context?
evolve the policies?
Yeah, the policymaker is here with
Why
us.
should they?
The policymaker is here with us. So that's also another question to our policymaker friend and to you guys as well, because you have to survive to make your course geometry available to the physicists, right? So
Suppose
yeah.
in India, I name is AIC, okay, gives
What is this?
gives grant for research 10 lakhs. For 10 lakhs in a year to purchase this equipment of research, this is sufficient? Not so sufficient.
For definitely for experimental stuff, 10 lakhs is
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah,
But other aspect,
nothing.
but other
There is
aspect-
overheads on top of that.
But other aspect they give the crores of rupees. It's a problem of India is that the funding for research and developments or open research or for to help them student to think openly. They don't give fund properly.
Well, I mean, there are institute which gets funding, but then it is again polarized to some institute like Indian Institute of Science or TIFR Mumbai. So these are the institutes which host brilliant minds, and so but should
But
these
their funding amount is to.
but they don't have capacity to host all these people, right? I mean, this is definitely
No.
these two institute does not have the capacity to hold. So then very question comes that why India should only fund them, not to other people.
Because Indian governments or Indian state governments or also they are basically interested in for what you are doing, like what you thinking. They are thinking that your result comes in, for example, 1 year or 2 years. They can give you a period 5 years, 10 years for research, or they can take more times. Okay. They are trying to bought all these scientific equipments or scientific formulas from out of country, like import their services. But in India, this problem is that what I am finding, this problem is that they can't think properly, or they can't think how to remodel it for any research. Suppose I am using a pen, okay, that's a technology of this pen. India are copyrighting the suppose a German pen. German liquid fluid is for cello. They use a German liquid fluid, something
Some ink.
some ink. But in India, they can make this product in India.
No.
But they can't do. They are from
No, I mean,
this
we
product.
okay. Then we have to talk about MOM as well.
Yeah, no, so I think like there